Captain's Log, October 3rd, 2955. Stand System, Pyro Gateway. A friend of mine had gotten in some trouble in Pyro and was running out of air. If I wanted to save him, I had to be quick. Thrusters on, I launched from the hangar and headed for the jump point. For this mission, I chose the Vanguard Hoplite. She's fast, can hold her own in a fight, and most importantly, has just enough quantum fuel to reach him without stopping. The ship is meant to safely transport up to 6 soldiers in custom jump seats, and can engage in ship-to-ship combat with 1 size 5 hardpoint, 4 size 2 hardpoints, and an array of missiles. With 6 mains and 10 maneuvering thrusters, I wasn't worried about traversing the asteroid fields that dotted Pyro's spacescape. As I approached the jump point, my heart was pounding. I was running out of time and couldn't afford to mess this up. Navigating the canyons of space and time can be tricky, even for the most experienced pilots. One wrong move and you're lost forever. So how did we get here? The crew and I had just completed a routine patrol around Microtech when Arkin contacted our squadron for another dive into hell known as Project Hyperion. Someone wanted us to poke around and see what the different buttons did. If we needed buttons pressed, I knew just the guy to do it. Pythagoras, my old chief engineer. Problem was, lest anyone heard from him, Proth was holed up in Pyro giving the criminals that infest that system a taste of their own medicine. Shortly after he set out to join us, he discovered his ship had been sabotaged. Guess those pirates finally caught on. He needed a pickup before the leaky lifeboat he was piloting turned into a metal coffin. Upon exiting the jump point, I acquired his beacon over by Terminus, near Ruin Station, 80 gigameters from the gateway. A quick glance at my fuel tank, I knew this would require efficiency, so I set a route and engaged my quantum fuel. Ruin Station isn't known for its hospitality. It could be flying straight towards Pirate Bay. Any rock could be masking the signature of a criminal trying to make a score. I was quite relieved to come into visual range. I opened the boarding ramp and secured our VIP. The asset on board, the easy part was over. I was bingo on fuel and needed to get us out of the system. My only choice was to head towards Ruin Station to refuel before making the jump back to Stanton. This is where those 6 main and 10 maneuvering thrusters I mentioned earlier come into play. I made sure we weren't being followed, then I engaged the afterburners. Some interesting history about this place. Founded in 2506, Pyrotechnic Amalgamated built what is now called Ruin Station as their headquarters in the system. The company's venture into Pyro wasn't very profitable, featuring rapid decline in the 2550s. PA eventually stripped every valuable part from the station before declaring bankruptcy in 2563. It didn't take long for squatters, criminals, and other outcasts to take up residence. The most recent advocacy report lists the terrorist organization Xenothreat as the current regime in control of the station, though outlaws aren't known for respecting authority, and that can change before the hangar doors fully close. If you ever do find yourself on Ruin Station, I suggest heading to Neutrality, an aptly named dive bar that's the closest safe you're gonna get. Though, if you want to be safe, I suggest not coming here in the first place, unless you know what you're doing. After a quick top-up, it was time to head home. We managed to avoid the local thugs and left the station unscathed. I couldn't help but feel like we were being followed, though. A quick scan and it was off to the Stanton Gateway. On our way back, I spent the downtime reading up on the system's history. Originally discovered in 2493, Pyrotechnic Amalgamated claimed the system for its lucrative mining sites, but the intense solar flares proved too much for the company. Today, no central governing authority controls the system. Instead, independent organizations, pioneer settlers, and pirate gangs make a home with the stations offering varying degrees of unfriendly service. Pyro can be as beautiful as it is deadly. The system is home to 6 planets, none of which have a major settlement. For those looking for some scenic views, Pyro 3 named Bloom and Pyro 4 offer some stunning vistas. This was for another time. I only had enough fuel to make one attempt at the jump, otherwise we would be stranded. Time to refocus. Transiting jump points may seem trivial now, but it wasn't always like this. The explorers of old had to chart these paths with no guarantee of ever returning home. A thrilling notion. Light years pass in seconds, with every beat a reminder of our fragility as humans, and how lucky I was to make it this far. I dream of the chance of finding my own jump point one day, and weaving my name in the tapestry of stars we call the United Earth Empire. Another successful transit. All that was left from here was to set a course and dock with the station. After landing at the Pyro Gateway, we quickly headed to the nearest elevator to join with the rest of our crew. As dangerous as this mission was, we might as well have been joyriding on New Terra compared to what we were about to walk into. For those that aren't looped in, Project Hyperion was a secret experiment at an ASD honors facility that was recently exposed during the ongoing regen crisis. This is of course connected to Dr. Jorrit and ASD's Lazarus sites back in Pyro. Upon rendezvousing with the ship, standard operating procedures to check in with medical, then it was off to Project Hyperion. This is Captain Lyrian Veilheart, signing off.
Oh,
Gaza!
Gaza!
Gaza!